Hello friend, welcome to my channel Coin Worth Million. Today video is one you won't miss. We're diving into the world of coins, top 250 pence. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. So let's get it started. The 1997 United Kingdom 50 pence coin represents a significant chapter in the history of British numismatics, capturing not only the changing design standards and minting policies of the Royal Mint, but also the transitional period of the coinage system. It emerged during a decade when the United Kingdom was modernizing its coinage to meet the demands of a more efficient and practical monetary system. What makes the 1997 50p coin particularly important is its physical transformation. It was the final year in which the larger, original-sized 50p coins were struck before the size was reduced in 1998. Therefore, collectors and historians alike consider the 1997 issue to be a milestone piece, symbolizing the end of an era in British coin design. The reverse design of the 1997 50 pence coin features a timeless image that had already become a well-known emblem in British coinage: the seated figure of Britannia. This design was created by artist and sculptor Christopher Ironside, whose rendition of Britannia had graced the 50p since the coin's introduction in 1969. Britannia is depicted seated facing right, wearing a classical helmet and holding a trident in her right hand while resting her left hand on a shield bearing the Union flag. At her feet sits a lion, symbolizing strength and the historic imagery of the British Empire. This reverse design pays homage to the classical iconography associated with Roman Britain and Victorian symbolism, merging tradition with modernity in a way that aligns with British cultural heritage. Surrounding the central Britannia design are the words 50 pence at the top, and the date 1997 is placed beneath Britannia's seated figure, centrally aligned along the bottom edge. The reverse of the coin is clear and uncluttered, reflecting the artistic sensibilities of Ironside's work: focused, balanced, and proud. This design had remained virtually unchanged since the decimalization of British currency in 1971. Is often associated with the conservative elegance of British coinage during the late 20th century. Turning to the obverse of the 1997 50 pence coin, we find the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Matt. This portrait was introduced in 1985 and remained in circulation on UK coins until 1997, marking this particular 50p as the final year. This effigy was used on 50 pence coins before being replaced by Ian Rank Broadley's more mature portrait. In 1998, Macklowe's depiction shows the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a regal crown worn by the monarch for the state opening of Parliament. The detail of the diadem and the Queen's poise gives the coin an air of majesty, commemorating both the monarch's continuity and the solemnity of state duty. The inscription around the effigy reads Elizabeth 2DG Reg FD 1997, which is abbreviated Latin for Elizabeth II. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1997 50 pence coin is instantly recognizable by its distinctive equilateral curved heptagon shape, meaning it has 7 equal-length sides with smooth curved edges. This shape, patented by the Royal Mint in the 1960s, allows for easy recognition by touch and machinery while preserving the circular appearance when the coin rolls. The diameter of the coin is approximately 30.0 millimeters and it weighs 13.5 grams, which makes it significantly larger and heavier than the post-1997 reduced-size coins. The metal composition consists of cupra or nickel, a durable alloy made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance and the durability required for everyday use. The significance of the year 1997 in the context of the 50p coin cannot be overstated. It was the final chapter in the story of the larger 50p coin, which had become increasingly viewed as bulky and impractical for daily transactions. The Royal Mint, in consultation with financial institutions, concluded that a smaller, lighter version would be more acceptable to the public, easier to handle, and less costly to produce. This led to the introduction of the new, smaller-sized 50 pence coin in September 1997, with the older, larger version being withdrawn from circulation. Soon after, however, the large 1997 50p coins were minted before the changeover and continued to circulate temporarily alongside their smaller successors until the demonetization of the large coins in 1998. In terms of mintage, the 1997 50 pence coin had a fairly low mintage figure when compared to other circulating issues. According to Royal Mint records, around 456,364 of the larger 1997 50p coins were minted, making it one of the scarcer regular issue 50p coins. This relatively low mintage, combined with its status as the final year of the large size 50p, has contributed to its desirability among collectors. While not an extremely rare coin in absolute terms, uncirculated or proof examples are more sought after and can command a premium in the numismatic market. Proof and brilliant uncirculated versions of the 1997 50 pence were also produced and included in special mint sets and annual coin sets. These coins were struck to higher standards than those made for circulation, often with polished dies and specially prepared blanks. Proof versions in particular exhibit a mirror-like, field and frosted relief, enhancing the coin's visual appeal. These versions were aimed at collectors and remained a popular way to own a pristine example of this transitional year coin. From a collector's perspective, the 1997 50p coin holds particular value due to several factors. Firstly, it is the final year of the large-size 50p, which appeals to those who collect series completions or historical transitions. Secondly, its relatively low mintage adds a layer of scarcity that increases its attractiveness. Thirdly, it features the last appearance of Raphael Makhlouf's effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on the denomination, giving it further numismatic importance. Additionally, coins in higher grades such as those graded by third-party services, for example, NGC or PCGS, can fetch higher prices, especially if they exhibit little to no wear, strong strikes, and clean surfaces. Culturally, the 1997 50p coin can also be viewed as a relic of pre-digital, pre-Eurozone Britain nation still firmly rooted in its own symbolic monetary heritage. While the country was modernizing rapidly, and political discussions about adopting the euro currency were heating up in the late 1990s, coins such as the 1997 50p served as reminders of Britain's individual identity, economic self-reliance, and deep-rooted numismatic traditions. The image of Britannia itself, calm, dignified, and confident, projected stability during a time of change. Another interesting dimension of the 1997 50p coin is its presence at the crossroads of British history. In 1997, the nation witnessed monumental events such as the general election that brought Tony Blair and the Labour Party to power, ending 18 years of conservative rule, and the death of Princess Diana, which shook the United Kingdom and the world. These broader historical backdrops add context to the coin, anchoring it not only in monetary history but in social and political change as well. Since the demonetization of the large-size 50p coins in 1998, they are no longer legal tender for commercial transactions. However, they remain legal pieces of British numismatic heritage, widely collected and respected. Many collectors include the 1997 coin as a keystone in 20th century UK coin sets, or in thematic collections that include Britannia depictions or Queen Elizabeth II portraits. In terms of market value, circulated examples of the 1997 large 50p coin usually sell for modest prices due to their availability. However, uncirculated or proof examples in original packaging or in pristine condition can command prices ranging from a few pounds to over £20, depending on demand and condition. For collectors focusing on transitional coins or assembling type sets that feature each major design and size change, the 1997 coin is a must-have piece that marks the end of an era and the gateway to modern UK coinage. In conclusion, the 1997 50p coin holds historical, numismatic, and cultural significance. As the final year of the original large 50p format, it bridges the divide between tradition and modernity, between the post-war numismatic standards and the practicalities of contemporary coinage. With its elegant Britannia design, royal portraiture, and tangible link to a changing nation, this coin serves as a commemorative object of Britain's evolving identity in the late 20th century. Whether held in a collection, admired for its design, or studied for its place in history, the 1997 50p remains a key piece for understanding the trajectory of British decimal coinage. Next coin. The 2002 United Kingdom 50p coin stands as an intriguing piece of modern British coinage that captures both the routine aspects of circulating currency and the celebratory spirit of national commemoration. Minted during Queen Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee year, this coin has the distinction of not just being a part of daily British transactions but also being linked indirectly to a broader narrative of royal celebration. Unlike its specially issued commemorative counterparts minted that year, the 2002 regular circulating 50p coin retained the traditional Britannia hexi, a hallmark of British numismatic identity since decimalization. Though this standard version may appear modest, it encapsulates layers of tradition, artistry, evolution in minting technology, and the subtle symbolic power of British coinage that persists quietly within people's pockets, tills, and change purses. Let us begin with the reverse design of the 2002 50p coin. It features the iconic seated figure of Britannia, an emblem of British pride and maritime strength. Designed by Christopher Ironside, this reverse had adorned the 50p since its first issue in 1969, during the nation's full decimal transition. The image is steeped in classical tradition. Britannia is depicted seated facing right, helmeted and robed, holding a trident in her right hand and resting her left hand on a shield bearing the Union flag. A lion, representing bravery and national guardianship, lies peacefully at her feet. The composition evokes themes of strength, stability, and imperial pride, and unchanging presence even as Britain underwent significant political and social transformations. Above her, the words 50p curve along the coin's top edge, while the date 2002 is placed subtly along the bottom edge beneath the lion. Although this design had become a standard, even predictable, feature on the 50p coin, By 2002, it was cherished by many for its consistency and connection to British heritage. For decades, Britannia had symbolized the United Kingdom's global influence and maritime legacy. Yet, by the early 2000s, change was in the air. A shift toward more frequent commemorative reverse designs was becoming evident. As such, the 2002 coin occupies a liminal space on one hand, a holdover from the past, and on the other, a quiet backdrop to more celebratory numismatic pieces like the Golden Jubilee coins and the Commonwealth Games 50p, both released in the same year. Turning to the obverse, the 2002 50p coin bears the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Ian Rank. This portrait, first introduced in 1998, marked a significant stylistic departure from the more idealized Makhlouf design that preceded it. Rank Broadley's rendition shows the Queen facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and is notable for its realism. The portrayal includes deeper lines and more mature facial features, acknowledging the monarch's advancing age rather than smoothing it away. Rank Broadley explained that his intention was to depict the Queen as she is, not as she was. The legend encircling her image reads Elizabeth Cadua DG Reg FD 2002, Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This formulation not only honors the Queen's constitutional role but also maintains the traditional numismatic language that links Britain's currency to its monarchical and religious past. The physical specifications of the 2002 50p coin are in keeping with the reduced size format introduced in 1997. Prior to that year, 50p coins were larger and heavier, often considered cumbersome in everyday use. The Royal Mint's redesign made the coin more practical for circulation. The 2002 version has a diameter of 27.3 millimeters, a weight of 8.0 grams, and a thickness of about 1.78 millimeters. It is composed of cupronickel, an alloy made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Known for its durability and silver-like finish, the shape remains the unique equilateral curved heptagon, a seven-sided figure with curved edges. This innovative shape, exclusive to the UK 50p, allows for both tactile recognition and compatibility with vending machines while preserving a pseudo-circular rolling motion. In terms of mintage figures, the 2002 50p coin was not produced in exceptionally large quantities, especially in comparison to previous years. According to Royal Mint statistics, only 11,200,000 standard circulation coins were issued. This relatively moderate mintage has made the coin somewhat less common in everyday change, particularly as circulating coins wear out or are removed from circulation by collectors. Additionally, brilliant uncirculated boo and proof versions of the 2000 50p were released in Royal Mint annual sets and special collector packs, often struck using specially prepared dies to ensure finer detail and enhanced luster. These additions are especially desirable to collectors seeking pristine, uncirculated specimens. One often overlooked element of the 2002 50p coin's significance is its historical and cultural setting. The year 2002 marked the 50th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's accession to the throne, her Golden Jubilee. While this milestone was honored through a variety of commemorative coins, stamps, and national celebrations, the standard 50p coin carried on with its traditional design, offering an element of numismatic continuity amid national festivities. It is notable that the standard Britannia 50p served as a quiet counterpart to the more ornate commemorative designs of the same year. That contrast makes the 2002 standard coin a fascinating study in how ordinary coinage coexists with ceremonial imagery within a nation's currency system. Additionally, 2002 was a significant year globally. The world continued to adjust to post-9/11 security concerns, and Britain was actively engaging with global affairs. The introduction of the euro currency in many European countries, although not in the UK, brought fresh attention to Britain's own coinage and monetary identity. In this context, the presence of Britannia on the 50p coin represented a reaffirmation of national character at a time when monetary sovereignty was a topic of considerable political discussion. In the collector's market, the 2002 50p is not classified as especially rare, but its lower mintage and transitional context have ensured it retains appeal among hobbyists, particularly those interested in building a date-run collection of coins from every year or focusing on the final years of the traditional Britannia reverse. Circulated coins typically fetch modest prices, often between 75p and £1.50, depending on condition. However, uncirculated boo, and especially proof versions, command higher premiums, particularly if housed in their original Royal Mint packaging or professionally graded by third-party services like NGC or PCGS. From a design and symbolic standpoint, the 2002 50p coin is a testament to British conservatism in coinage. While other denominations, such as the £2 and £1 coins, regularly featured new commemorative reverses, The 5OP remained unchanged in standard form until 2008, when the Royal Shield of Arms designed by Matthew Dent replaced Britannia across non-commemorative 50p issues. Thus, the 2002 coin occupies the final era of what collectors sometimes call classic 5OP design, before the denomination became a regular canvas for celebration and remembrance. In educational terms, the 2002 5OP also serves as a prime example of how numismatics can intersect with mathematics, geometry, history, and art. Its curved heptagon shape is unique in global coinage and has often been used in math classrooms as a geometric case study. Britannia, meanwhile, allows for discussions of Roman mythology, British imperial history, gendered national personifications, and changing artistic conventions in currency. As time passes, coins like the 2000 to 50 pence increasingly take on the role of cultural artifacts, rather than mere tools of commerce. They encapsulate the daily interactions of millions, quietly participating in the routines of shopping, travel, charity, and trade. Their continued presence in collections and coin albums across the UK and the Commonwealth ensures that they will not be forgotten, even as new designs and monarchs take their place in circulation. In conclusion, the 2002 UK 50 pence coin is far more than a monetary unit. It is a mirror of tradition, modesty, and enduring symbolism. Nestled between commemorative issues and historic celebrations, it continues the lineage of Britannia with stoic grace. Though often overlooked in favor of flashier or rarer designs, the 2002 OP reflects the quiet dignity of British coinage during the early 21st century. For historians, collectors, and anyone interested in the numismatic tapestry of Britain, it remains a subtle yet powerful reminder of continuity, legacy, and national pride expressed not through pomp and circumstance, but through a small heptagonal coin carried in the hands and pockets of everyday people. Next coin. The 2005 United Kingdom 50 pence coin is a coin of considerable interest in the world of British numismatics, not only for its utility as part of the nation's decimalised monetary system, but also because it emerged in a period where traditional motifs were slowly giving way to thematic commemorations. Despite the increasing popularity of special edition coins, the standard 2005 50p retained the classic reverse design, featuring Britannia continuing a legacy that had been in place since the coin's debut in 1969, while 2005 did see the release of a notable commemorative 5OP celebrating the 250th anniversary of Samuel Johnson's Dictionary of the English Language. The regular issue circulating coin stayed faithful to the long-established artistic representation of British identity and maritime strength. This classic 5OP thus represents a subtle contrast to its commemorative sibling, providing a powerful link to the past amid a time of numismatic and societal transition. Let us begin by examining the reverse design, which was created by the distinguished British artist and designer Christopher Hines. This design had been in use for decades and depicted Britannia, the allegorical female figure who has long represented Britain's strength, sovereignty, and naval dominance. Seated facing right, she wears a crested helmet and classical robes, suggesting imperial lineage and dignity. She holds a trident in her right hand, signifying control over the seas, while her left hand rests on a shield bearing the Union flag, symbolizing national unity and defense. At her feet lies a lion, the age-old emblem of British courage, royal authority, and watchfulness. This tableau is not merely decorative, it speaks to centuries of cultural identity, the enduring perception of Britain as a seafaring power, and the values of stoicism and preparedness that have defined the nation's self-image. The reverse inscription includes the denomination 50 pence in uppercase lettering along the top curve, and the year of issue, 2005, aligned centrally along the lower rim. The spacing, font, and alignment are all in keeping with earlier issues, giving the piece a sense of aesthetic consistency and familiarity. While the Britannia design was no longer novel by 2005, it remained an iconic image, appreciated both for its artistic merit and its symbolic depth. Its continued use for non-commemorative coins underscored the enduring relevance of tradition in British coinage, even as the Royal Mint became increasingly adventurous with commemorative issues across other denominations. Turning to the obverse, the 2005 50 pence coin features the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank. Broadly, this depiction, introduced in 1998, presented a more mature and realistic version of the monarch than previous effigies. It captured Her Majesty with a solemn, dignified expression and included more naturalistic features such as lines on her face that reflected her age and stature. The Queen wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a favorite piece from her personal collection and a recurrent element in her coin portraits. The obverse inscription reads Elizabeth Shadua D. G. Reg. F. D. Duaribulima, the traditional Latin formula meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This obverse design encapsulates the balance between realism and reverence that defined British coinage in the final decades of the Queen's reign. In terms of technical specifications, The 2005 50p coin belongs to the reduced size format, introduced in 1997 to make the coin more manageable in daily use. It has a diameter of 27.3 millimeters, a weight of 8.0 grams, and a thickness of approximately 1.78 millimeters. Like other standard circulating 50p coins from the post-1997 era, it has a plain edge and is struck from cupronickel, an alloy composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it durability and a silver-like appearance. Its distinctive equilateral curved heptagon-shaped 7 sides with curved edges ensures that it is instantly recognizable both by touch and visually, while maintaining functionality in vending and coin sorting machines. From a mintage and rarity perspective, the 2005 standard Britannia 50p coin was minted in relatively limited quantities, especially when compared with earlier years. According to Royal Mint records, only 4,346,000 of these coins were issued for circulation. This figure places it among the lower mintage figures for circulating 50p coins, which contributes to its rising interest among collectors. While it cannot be considered rare in an absolute sense, its decreased visibility in everyday change compared to more abundant issues makes it increasingly collectible, particularly for those building complete year sets or seeking coins that mark the twilight years of the Britannia design. In addition to circulation coins, the Royal Mint also issued the 2005 50p in brilliant uncirculated blue and proof formats. These coins were specially struck using polished dies and specially prepared blanks, resulting in sharper detail, smoother fields, and overall higher presentation quality. Blue and proof versions were included in Royal Mint annual sets, which remain popular among collectors. In proof versions, the frosted relief of Britannia stands in beautiful contrast to the mirrored background, lending an artistic depth that is difficult to appreciate in circulated coins. These coins, especially if preserved in original packaging, tend to retain and even grow in value. Due to their enhanced aesthetics and relative scarcity, the historical context of 2005 adds yet another layer to the meaning of this coin. It was a year of reflection and shifting national sentiment. Britain was navigating the complexities of post-9/11's geopolitics, participating in overseas conflicts, and negotiating its place within the European Union. Domestically, discussions around identity, sovereignty, and tradition continued to evolve. The retention of Britannia on the 50p image steeped in national mythology and symbolism resonated with many Britons who viewed her as a stabilizing symbol during times of change. At the same time, the growing trend of thematic and commemorative coins was reshaping public expectations about what coinage could communicate. While the commemorative 2005 50p honoring Samuel Johnson's dictionary explored the development of language, the standard Britannia coin offered a conservative counterpoint rooted in continuity. Collectors often view the 2005 standard 50p as part of a broader narrative, the closing chapters of the Britannia series before the 2008 redesign of UK coinage by Matthew Dent, which introduced the Royal Shield design. Thus, the 2005 issue is frequently sought by those assembling pre-Dent 50p collections. Furthermore, its relatively low mintage gives it a degree of scarcity in high grades. Circulated examples often trade for around £1 to £2, while uncirculated or proof examples may command significantly higher prices, especially in certified slabs graded MS66 or higher. In educational and cultural terms, the 2005 50p serves as a bridge between the old and the new. The image of Britannia connects collectors to ancient Roman traditions, to Queen Victoria's reign, where she also featured prominently on coinage, and to 20th century imperial imagery. Simultaneously, the choice to retain Britannia in a year that saw the debut of a language-themed commemorative reverse also underscores Britain's dual investment in symbolic imagery and intellectual achievement. The coin thus serves not only as currency but as a canvas reflecting values such as resilience, continuity, and national pride. As of today, the 2005 50p Britannia coin is no longer in active production, and its presence in circulation is dwindling. Many examples have been withdrawn, hoarded, or worn down through use. Yet, its legacy endures in the collections of enthusiasts, historians, and citizens who remember handling these coins in shops, cafes, train stations, and markets. It is one of the final links to a time when every 50p coin bore the image of a single, unchanging national figure before a new era of varied and dynamic designs took over. In conclusion, the 2005 United Kingdom 50p coin is a coin that carries a deep reservoir of significance despite its seemingly ordinary appearance. It embodies British heritage through the figure of Britannia, expresses respect for monarchy through its realistic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, and offers a glimpse into a transitional period in numismatics where tradition and change coexisted. While not a rare or expensive coin by most measures, it is a powerful artifact of its time, one that speaks quietly but meaningfully of national identity, numismatic artistry, and the enduring value of continuity in a changing world. Next coin. The 2014 United Kingdom 50p coin exists as both a circulating coin and More notably, a part of the Royal Mint's expanding portfolio of commemorative coinage, continuing a trend that began in earnest in the early 2000s and flourished through the 2010s. During this time, the 50p coin emerged as one of the UK's most creative, symbolic, and widely recognized denominations, used not merely for transactional value but also for storytelling, cultural remembrance, and historical commemoration. In 2014, the 50p was issued in two distinct forms: the standard circulation coin featuring the classic Britannia reverse design and the special commemorative 50p honoring Benjamin Britten, one of Britain's most celebrated 20th century composers. While both coins share the same physical properties, diameter, weight, shape, and metal content, they differ profoundly in symbolism, artistic representation, and their role within the broader narrative of British numismatics. Let's begin with the standard 2014 50p, which continued to use the Royal Shield of Arms design created by Matthew Dett. The design first introduced in 2008. This was the first major overhaul of standard UK reverse coin, designed since decimalization in 1971. Dent's concept was both bold and elegant. When all the standard UK coins from 1p to 50p are placed together like a puzzle, they form the complete Royal Shield, a visual embodiment of national unity and identity. On the 50p, the largest denomination among them, we see the bottom right portion of the Royal Shield, which includes elements of the third and fourth quadrants, the harp representing Northern Ireland and the three lions passant of England. The design is minimalist, clean, and precise, a departure from the more allegorical Britannia that had dominated the coin's appearance for decades. The inscription 50 pence appears along the lower curve of the reverse in a modern sans typeface, aligning with the fresh, forward-thinking aesthetic that Dent envisioned for Britain's currency as it moved into the 21st century. Unlike its commemorative counterpart, this standard version was intended for mass circulation, with millions minted and distributed through banks, post offices, and shops throughout the country. On the obverse, both the standard and commemorative 2014 50p coins featured the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank. This effigy had been in use since 1998 and was notable for its realism, portraying the monarch as mature and stately, complete with visible facial lines and a reflective demeanor. The Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a family heirloom and a symbol of feminine grace and tradition. Surrounding the portrait is the classic royal inscription, Elizabeth Sedua Digia Reg, FD Duaribumpat Blas, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This combination of modern reverse and traditional obverse imagery created a balance between innovation and continuity, a theme that resonated with many collectors and everyday users of British coinage. More attention, however, is often drawn to the commemorative 50p coin issued in 2014, which paid tribute to Edward Benjamin Britten, born in 1913 and widely regarded as one of Britain's greatest composers, particularly in the realms of opera and choral music. Known for works such as Peter Grimes, The Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra, and War Requiem, Britain's legacy is celebrated in this coin's uniquely typographic designs, something of a rarity in British commemorative coinage, which more often leans toward portraits or symbolic illustrations. The design, created by Tom Phillips, takes the form of stylized horizontal lines of text, reading Benjamin Britten, composer, 1913 to 1976, and the inscription, Blow Bugle Blow, Set the Wild Echoes Flying, a reference to Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem The Splendor Falls on Castle Walls, which Britten famously set to music. This artistic approach, devoid of visual portraiture and reliant solely on typography, was a fresh and daring direction for UK coinage. It emphasized Britain's identity not just as a man but as a communicator through language and sound. The words spiraled gently outward from the center, creating a visual echo of sound waves mirroring Britain's influence on music and British culture. It was the first UK coin to honor a composer, and is notable for its departure from traditional numismatic design. Both the standard and commemorative coins share the same dimensions and physical specifications. Each has a diameter of 27.3 millimeters, a weight of 8.0 grams, and is made of copper nickel comprising 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives the coin its familiar silvery appearance and enduring hardness. The edge is plain, and the coin retains the equilateral curved heptagon shape, a seven-sided form with curved sides. Unique in global coinage, and highly functional in circulation and machine sorting, the Royal Mint has long celebrated this, with shape for its mathematical elegance and practical application. It is easily distinguishable by touch and sight, making the 50p one of the most accessible denominations in the UK system. Regarding mintage figures, the standard Royal Shield 50p of 2014 was produced in high numbers for circulation. According to official Royal Mint statistics, around 28.2 million coins were released for everyday use. This ensures that the coin remains common in pocket change and is not considered rare by collectors. On the other hand, The Britain commemorative 50p had a lower mintage with approximately 5,300,000 coins issued into circulation. While this does not make it rare by numismatic standards, it is noticeably less common than other commemorative coins such as the 2016 Beatrix Potter or 2012 Olympic issues. Brilliant uncirculated and proof versions of both types were also struck and sold in limited edition royal mint sets and collector packaging. These versions were carefully minted with polished dies and premium blanks to create sharper detail and smoother surfaces, often appealing to serious collectors and gift buyers alike. In terms of market value and collector interest, the 2014 Royal Shield 50p generally holds only its face value in circulated condition due to its high mint. However, uncirculated or proof versions, particularly those in original Royal Mint presentation packaging or those professionally graded, can fetch £2, £5 or more depending on condition and demand. The Britain commemorative 50p tends to command a slightly higher premium in collector markets, especially in mint condition or in sealed packs. As the first coin to honor a British composer, it has a niche appeal among music lovers and thematic collectors, often valued between £1 and 50p and £3 in circulated form and up to £10 plus. For pristine or proofed versions, the cultural and educational value of the 2014 50p is also significant. In a period where British coinage became a canvas for heritage, literature, innovation, and diversity, the Britain coin, in particular, represents a bridge between numismatics and the arts. It provides a means of introducing younger generations to Britain's music and legacy, while also expanding the boundaries of what is considered appropriate or effective design on such a small metallic surface. Meanwhile, the Royal Shield coin affirms national unity through heraldic symbolism, reminding users of the constituent nations of the United Kingdom and their shared history. Looking forward, the 2014 50p coins, both standard and commemorative, expected to maintain steady relevance in the world of collecting. They mark a period of design experimentation and heritage celebration. They were issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and therefore carry her long-standing legacy, which ended with her passing in 2022. As such, coins bearing her image are likely to become more desirable, particularly as Charles III's effigy begins to replace hers on newly issued coinage. In this regard, the 2014 50p coins form part of an essential final chapter in the Elizabethan coinage era. In conclusion, the 2014 United Kingdom 50p coin is a multifaceted object of historical, cultural, and artistic value, whether in its standard Royal Shield design, symbolizing national unity and modernity, or in the commemorative Benjamin Britten version, evoking Britain's musical and literary heritage. This coin stands as a tangible reflection of the nation's evolving identity. It demonstrates the versatility of coinage as more than mere currency. It is memory, tribute, design, and narrative. In collectors' albums and in daily pocket change, the 2014 50p continues to speak quietly of a nation's pride, its artistry, and its unending journey through history, one coin at a time.